First Contact's Deception. Admiral Sarah Chen stood at the viewport of Lunar Base Alpha, her dark eyes fixed on the shimmering barrier that had appeared in Earth's orbit 12 hours ago. The quantum field analysis team had confirmed what they'd suspected. It wasn't meant to be visible. Something had gone wrong with the cloaking technology, revealing the presence of their washers. "Status report," she commanded, not turning from the view. Dr. Marcus Wong, Earth Defense Forces head of Xenotechnology, cleared his throat. "The field is composed of advanced quantum particles arranged in a perfect observation matrix. They've been watching us, Admiral. Based on the degradation patterns of the particles, I'd estimate, for at least 50 years. Sarah's jaw tightened, but she maintained her composure. Humanity had suspected they weren't alone, had prepared for this possibility, but the reality of being studied like bacteria under a microscope made her blood boil. "And they didn't detect our quantum sensors?" she asked. Marcus allowed himself a small smile. "No. Our passive quantum detection systems remain undetected. They still think we're at a pre-quantum technology level, barely achieving reliable fusion power. The deception had begun 20 years ago, when Earth's first quantum sensors detected alien probes at the edge of the solar system. Instead of announcing their discovery to the world, the Global Defense Council had made a crucial decision: to hide their true technological progress while studying their observers. The Federation Council is preparing their first official contact," Intelligence Officer Kira Patel reported, stepping into the observation room. "Their transmission will reach Earth in approximately 6 hours. They're maintaining the pretense that this is first contact." Sarah finally turned from the viewport, facing her team. "Show me what we know about them." A holographic display materialized in the center of the room, showing the complex political structure of what they had come to know as the Galactic Federation. Hundreds of species, dozens of major powers, all united under a philosophy of guided development for younger races. Their standard procedure is to approach developing worlds once they achieve basic fusion technology, Kira explained. They present themselves as benevolent mentors, offering advanced technology in exchange for accepting their authority and guidance. "And if the worlds refuse?" Sarah asked, though she already knew the answer from their intelligence gathering. Marcus's expression darkened. "They're given a choice: accept protection status, which essentially means surrendering their resources and autonomy, or face isolation from galactic society. Most choose submission. Those who resist often face convenient, natural disasters that force them to accept Federation aid." Sarah walked to the central display, studying the complex web of alliances and power structures they'd mapped out over the years. "They think they're about to find another primitive species in need of their wisdom. Show me what we've prepared for them." The hologram shifted, displaying Earth's true defensive capabilities, carefully hidden from Federation observation. Quantum shield generators disguised as commercial fusion plants, defense platforms masked as communication satellites, an entire fleet of advanced chips hidden in underground bases across the solar system. "We've had 20 years to prepare," Marcus said. "Every piece of technology we've developed has been built with one purpose: to be completely undetectable to their scanning methods. We know how they think, how they operate. They've never encountered a species that knew they were coming." "The public announcement protocols are ready," Kira added. "As far as the world will know, this is humanity's first contact with alien life. The panic and confusion will be real, exactly what they expect to see." Sarah nodded slowly. "And our asset placement. Quantum infiltration modules are in position throughout their communication network," Marcus confirmed. "The moment they establish official contact, we'll have access to their entire command and control system. They'll be too busy watching our primitive reaction to notice their network has been compromised." A soft chime indicated an incoming transmission from the Global Defense Council. Sarah accepted it, and the holographic face of Council Chairman Victor Martinez appeared. "Admiral Chen, the Federation's approach vector has been confirmed. They're sending 3 ships, exactly as our intelligence predicted. Are we ready to begin our performance?" Sarah looked at her team, seeing the same determination reflected in their eyes. For 20 years, they had waited, watched, and prepared. The Federation thought they were about to guide another primitive species into their fold. Instead, they were about to learn that humanity had long since surpassed their expectations. "Yes, sir," she replied. "Operation Hidden Hand is ready to proceed. Let them come thinking they found another civilization to guide. By the time they realize their mistake, it will be too late." The chairman nodded gravely. "Remember, Admiral, the success of this operation depends on perfect timing. We can't reveal our hand too soon, nor too late. The future of human independence in the galaxy rests on the next few days." "Understood, sir. We've rehearsed this for 2 decades. Every person on Earth will play their part, never knowing they're participating in the greatest deception in human history." As the transmission ended, Sarah turned back to the viewport. Somewhere out there, Federation ships were approaching, their crews confident in their technological superiority, certain of their righteous mission to guide another young species. They had no idea they were flying into a web 20 years in the making. "Begin public preparations," she ordered. "Let's give our guests exactly the show they're expecting. Activate the global reaction protocols. It's time to show the galaxy that humanity isn't quite what they think we are." As alarms began to sound across Earth's defense networks, and carefully crafted news reports about mysterious objects approaching Earth began to circulate, Sarah allowed herself a small smile. The real first contact was about to begin, and it wouldn't go anything like the Federation expected. The game was about to change, and humanity held all the cards. The silent web. Dr. Maya Rivera's fingers danced across the quantum interface as she monitored the Federation's transmissions from her post, deep within the Atacama facility. 3 weeks had passed since first contact, and Earth was playing its role to perfection. World leaders expressed appropriate awe at the Federation's technology, while carefully orchestrated protests and panic provided the exact reaction the aliens expected from a primitive civilization. "Status update on Operation Ghostwire," she transmitted to the secure quantum network. The response came instantly from nodes scattered across Earth's hidden facilities. Their quantum infiltration was proceeding exactly as planned. The Federation's overconfidence was their greatest weakness. They never bothered to scan for technologies they believed were centuries beyond Earth's capabilities. Dr. Rivera called out her assistant, Thomas Chen. "You need to see this." Maya's breath caught as she studied the decoded transmission. "Send this to Admiral Chen immediately." The data confirmed their worst suspicions. The Federation's guidance program wasn't merely patronizing. It was systematic exploitation. Detailed reports showed how they deliberately stunted the development of protected worlds, extracting resources while keeping the populations dependent on Federation technology. In her secure office aboard Lunar Base Alpha, Admiral Chen reviewed the evidence with growing disgust. "How many worlds?" she asked. 17 in the last century alone," Maya's hologram replied. "They introduced just enough technology to make extraction efficient, while ensuring the civilizations remain unable to develop independence. The few who realized the truth and tried to resist." She didn't need to finish. The data showed those worlds suffered convenient, natural disasters, asteroid impacts or solar flares that could be traced back to Federation weaponry. "Our infiltration status?" the Admiral asked. "We've achieved 60% penetration of their quantum networks. Their security is..." Maya paused, searching for the right word. "Primitive, by our standards. They haven't innovated in centuries because they've never needed to. No one has challenged them." Admiral Chen smiled grimly. "Until now. Have they noticed any of our probes?" "No. They're too busy analyzing our primitive attempts at quantum physics. The research papers we've allowed them to discover have them convinced we're at least a century away from true quantum technology." Meanwhile, in the Federation's primary observation vessel, High Observer Ixel reviewed the latest reports on humanity's development with satisfaction. The humans were responding exactly as expected. a mix of fear, awe, and desperate attempts to catch up technologically. Their quantum experiments are particularly amusing, he noted to his science officer. Such basic mistakes. It will take them generations to achieve even rudimentary quantum communication. If he could have seen through the quantum camouflage surrounding Earth, he would have witnessed humanity's true capabilities. Hidden quantum cores powered cities while appearing to run on fusion. Quantum computers performed calculations in microseconds, while letting the Federation detect only primitive binary systems. In Washington, D.C., the Global Defense Council convened in their underground quantum-shielded chamber. The room hummed with nervous energy as Maya presented her latest findings. "The Federation is preparing to offer us membership," she explained. "But it's a trap. They'll demand we accept protective status first, claiming our technology is too primitive for full membership." "And if we refuse?" asked Chairman Martinez. "Based on the data we've intercepted, they'll likely stage an environmental crisis. Their ships have already mapped our solar system's asteroid belts, categorizing potential natural threats." The chairman's expression hardened. "Then we proceed with Phase 2. Dr. Rivera, are the quantum viral packages ready?" Maya nodded. "Yes, sir. The moment they attempt to establish their protective network around Earth, our virus will piggyback on their own quantum signals. They'll be giving us the keys to their entire system." Across the solar system, humanity's hidden quantum network pulsed with activity. 20 years of preparation were about to pay off. The Federation thought they were dealing with a young, naive species. They were about to learn that appearances could be deceiving. In orbit, Federation observers continued their scans, never noticing the quantum shadows that danced between their transmissions. They didn't detect the sophisticated AI systems analyzing their every communication, learning their patterns, preparing to turn their own technology against them. "The humans are remarkably adaptable," High Observer Ixel noted in his report to the Federation Council. "They've already begun incorporating some of our basic principles into their technology. Perhaps they will be ready for protective status sooner than expected." If he had known the truth, he would have realized that humanity had surpassed many of the Federation's advanced technologies years ago. While the Federation had stagnated, secure in their superiority, humanity had innovated in secret, driven by the knowledge that they weren't alone in the universe. Maya's quantum displays showed the Federation's network spread out before her like a vast web of light. Within that web, humanity's infiltration programs moved like shadows, unseen and unstoppable. Soon, the Federation would make their move, thinking they were pulling humanity into their sphere of influence. Instead, they would trigger their own downfall. "Final preparations are complete," Maya reported to Admiral Chen. "When they activate their protective quantum network, they'll actually be activating our override protocols. Every system, every defense platform, every communication channel. We'll have control of everything." The Admiral nodded slowly. "And then we show them what humanity is really capable of. Not through violence or conquest, but by using their own arrogance against them." As Earth continued its carefully orchestrated dance of primitive development, the trap was set. The Federation's greatest mistake wasn't underestimating humanity's technology. It was underestimating human ingenuity and determination. The game was approaching its final moves, and the Federation didn't even know they were playing. Turning point. High Observer Ixel stood before the Federation Council's holographic projection, his mandibles twitching with barely contained excitement. "The humans have developed exactly as predicted. They are now ready for protective status implementation." The Council chamber's quantum crystal walls pulsed with agreement. After 3 months of observation, the Federation was confident in their assessment of Earth's capabilities. Their ships now openly orbited the planet, a show of force disguised as diplomatic presence. What they couldn't see was the smile on Admiral Chen's face as she watched their transmissions from Lunar Base Alpha's command center. "They're right on schedule," she noted to Maya, who was monitoring the quantum network infiltration. "Status report. Our control of their systems is complete," Maya replied, her fingers dancing across holographic displays. The moment they try to activate their protective field, we'll have access to everything. Defense systems, communication networks, even their automated construction facilities. The Federation's ultimatum came exactly as their intercepted communications had predicted. High Observer Ixal's image appeared on screens worldwide, his voice translated into every human language. "People of Earth," he began, mandibles spread in what his species considered a benevolent gesture. "The Federation has observed your remarkable progress. You are now ready for the next step in your development. Accept our protection, and we will guide you to the stars." In the White House Situation Room, Chairman Martinez watched the transmission with the world's other leaders. The fear and uncertainty on their faces was genuine. Only a handful knew the truth about humanity's capabilities. They're demanding control of 70% of Earth's resources, one president announced, voice shaking, and access to all our technology and research facilities. "We have 24 hours to accept," another added, "or they'll impose a total blockade." Martinez allowed himself a small smile. "Then let's give them our answer." Across Earth's hidden quantum network, the signal was given. Operation Oracle was about to begin. Maya's team initiated the first phase. Deep within the Federation's quantum networks, humanity's viral programs awakened. They didn't attack or disrupt. They simply waited, invisible and patient. Admiral Chen addressed the combined military leadership. "Remember, this isn't about showing off our power. It's about showing them a better way. Defensive positions only. No aggressive actions unless absolutely necessary." The Federation ships in orbit detected nothing unusual as Earth's deadline approached. Their sensors showed only what humanity wanted them to see: scattered military movements, panicked communications, the chaos they expected from a primitive civilization facing superior force. High Observer Ixal watched with satisfaction as the deadline neared its end. Earth's leaders had called for an emergency global broadcast, no doubt to announce their submission. Chairman Martinez stood before the world's cameras, his expression grave. "People of Earth, we face a critical moment in human history. The Federation has offered us protection, guidance, and a place among the stars." In orbit, Ixal's mandibles clicked in triumph. However, Martinez continued, "We have a counter-proposal." The chairman's image disappeared from Federation screens, replaced by a cascade of data. Suddenly, every Federation ship in orbit lost control of their systems. Their weapons, engines, and communications all responded to new masters. In the Federation Council chamber, chaos erupted as their quantum networks displayed impossible information. Hidden human quantum cores emerged from their camouflage, their power output dwarfing Federation technology. Advanced ships rose from underground bases and underwater facilities, taking position around the planet. "Impossible," Ixal shouted, mandibles clicking frantically. "They're centuries away from this level of technology." Admiral Chen's hologram appeared before him, her expression calm but firm. "No, High Observer, we simply let you believe that. While you watched us through your advanced sensors, we studied you through technology you thought impossible for us to possess." Across Federation space, their automated defense platforms and communication relays fell under human control, not through violence or brute force, but through careful infiltration and preparation. "What do you want?" the Federation Council's leader demanded, his crystalline form vibrating with anxiety. Martinez addressed them directly, his hologram now standing in the council chamber. "We want to show you a better way. Your Federation was built on the idea that advanced civilizations must guide the development of younger ones. But your guidance became control, your protection became exploitation." Displays throughout Federation space activated, showing the evidence humanity had gathered. The deliberate suppression of developing worlds, the orchestrated disasters, the systematic extraction of resources. "We could use your own weapons against you," Admiral Chen continued. "We could dismantle your Federation with the press of a button. Instead, we offer partnership. Real partnership, not domination disguised as protection. Maya's quantum displays showed the Federation's networks lighting up with unprecedented activity. Member worlds were receiving the transmissions, seeing the truth about their leaders for the first time. Your technology has stagnated because you stopped innovating, she explained to the stunned council. You relied on power rather than progress. In 20 years of secret development, humanity has already surpassed many of your capabilities. In orbit, the Federation ships hung powerless, their crews watching in disbelief as Earth revealed its true face. The primitive world they had come to guide was instead offering them a path to redemption. The choice is yours, Martins declared. Continue your path of domination and face the consequences, or join us in building something better. A true federation based on mutual respect and cooperation. The silence that followed was deafening. Centuries of Federation authority hung in the balance as humanity offered them a choice they had never given others. The chance to change, to grow, to become something more than conquerors disguised as guardians. The game had changed, and now everyone knew who had been the true players all along. Power shift. The first week after humanity's revelation became known as the Great Awakening across Federation space. Maya watched from her quantum command center as centuries of carefully maintained control crumbled like sandcastles before a tide. Another system has declared independence, Thomas reported, marking the Centauri cluster in their galactic display. That makes 15 former Federation protectorates in the past 3 days. Maya nodded, studying the cascade of changes rippling through the galaxy. Any violent incidents? None. Our control of their defense and communication systems is preventing any military response. The Federation fleet remains effectively quarantined. In the hastily convened Emergency Council on neutral ground, a space station orbiting Saturn, Admiral Chen faced High Observer Ixel across a conference table. The Federation representatives' mandibles hadn't stopped twitching since their arrival. You don't understand what you've done, Ixel insisted. There are protocols, hierarchies. Without Federation guidance, these worlds will descend into chaos, like the chaos you created on Proxima b. Chen's voice was steel. She activated a hologram showing the devastation of that world. When they refused your protection, you engineered an asteroid strike that forced them to accept Federation aid. That was necessary for maintaining control, Chen finished. But control isn't leadership, observer. Real leadership empowers others to grow stronger, not keeps them dependent and weak. Meanwhile, on Earth, Chairman Martinez addressed an unprecedented gathering of representatives from both Federation worlds and former protectorates. The Quantum Conference linked thousands of species across the galaxy. We understand your anger, he acknowledged to the former protectorate worlds. The Federation's deception ran deep. But we're not here to replace one form of control with another. We're here to build something new. The Arcturian representative, their crystalline form shimmering with skepticism, spoke first. Pretty words, but Earth now controls our defense systems, our communications. How is that different? Maya's hologram appeared beside Martinez. Because we're giving them back. With a gesture, she initiated the transfer protocols. Across the galaxy, local control of defense and communication systems returned to their respective worlds. The conference erupted in shocked whispers. The Federation had never willingly relinquished control of anything. But the safeguards, Ixel began, will remain in place, Admiral Chen assured him. No world can unilaterally attack another. No species can dominate through force. But beyond that, each civilization will be free to develop according to their own path. In the following days, the transformation accelerated. Federation worlds that had been silent partners in the suppression of younger species now stepped forward to make amends. The Centauri offered their advanced terraforming technology freely. The Regelians opened their ancient libraries of scientific knowledge. Maya's team worked around the clock, transforming the Federation's control systems into a new network based on cooperation and mutual defense. The quantum viral package that had given Earth control was repurposed into a democratic system where all species had equal access and voice. "We're receiving requests for technological exchange," Thomas reported, "not just from the protectorate worlds, but from the former Federation powers too." They'd finally realized how much their progress stagnated under the old system. In her quantum lab, Maya met with scientists from across the galaxy. Species that had once been forbidden to contact each other now shared discoveries freely. The innovation explosion was unprecedented. "Your quantum technology," a Regelian scientist admitted, their bioluminescent patterns showing amazement. "It's beyond anything we imagined possible. How did you advance so far in secret?" "Because we had to," Maya explained. "We knew we weren't alone, knew we needed to be ready. Necessity drove innovation. But now," she gestured to their collaborative project, "now we can all move forward together." Admiral Chen stood on the observation deck of Lunar Base Alpha, watching ships from 100 worlds move freely through Earth's space. Federation vessels now flew alongside their former protectorates, their crews learning to work as equals rather than masters and servants. "Did you ever imagine this?" Martins asked, joining her at the viewport. "That humanity's greatest victory would come not from superior force, but from showing a better way." Chen smiled. "It's what we planned for, hoped for. But seeing it actually happen." Below them, Earth shone like a jewel in space, but it was no longer a primitive world hiding its true nature. It had become something more, a symbol of how progress through cooperation could triumph over control through force. In the Federation Council chamber, now transformed into the Galactic Assembly, representatives from all species debated the future openly and equally. The hierarchy that had dominated space for centuries was being dismantled, replaced by something new and unprecedented. "There will be challenges," Maya told the assembled leaders. "Change never comes easily. But look at what we've already achieved in 1 week. Imagine what we can do in a year, a decade, a century, not as masters and servants, but as true allies." The quantum networks that had once enforced Federation control now hummed with unrestricted communication and collaboration. Worlds that had been deliberately kept isolated from each other were forming their own connections, their own alliances. The Federation thought they had to control evolution, Martinez reflected. Instead, they stopped their own. But now, he gestured to a display showing breakthrough after breakthrough as worlds shared their knowledge freely. Now we're all evolving together. The power shift wasn't just political, it was fundamental. The galaxy was transforming from a hierarchy of control to a network of cooperation, and at its heart was the species that had pretended to be primitive while preparing to show the stars a better way. Humanity had changed the game not by winning it, but by creating a new one entirely. New Dawn. 1 year after the Great Awakening, Maya stood before the newly constructed Galactic Institute of Science on Mars, marveling at how much had changed. The massive complex was a testament to the new era, its architecture blending designs from 100 worlds, its laboratories filled with scientists of all species working together. "Still hard to believe sometimes, isn't it?" Thomas asked, joining her on the observation platform. Below them, a group of former Federation younglings played with human children in the artificial gravity garden, their differences forgotten in shared laughter. "The latest innovation index just came in," Maya said, pulling up a holographic display. "More technological breakthroughs in the past year than in the previous century of Federation rule. Turns out freedom works better than control." In high orbit, Admiral Chen's quantum cruiser monitored the steady stream of ships arriving for the first anniversary celebration of the Galactic Assembly. Former Federation vessels flew alongside ships from previously suppressed worlds, their crews now working together as equals. "Incoming transmission from the Proxima expedition," her AI reported. The world that had once been devastated by Federation guidance was being restored through a collaborative effort of multiple species. The hologram showed vast swaths of green returning to its surface. On Earth, Chairman Martinez prepared to address the anniversary gathering, Representatives from every known spacefaring civilization filled the Grand Chamber in Geneva, while quantum links connected billions more across the galaxy. 1 year ago, he began, we faced a choice. We could have used our advantage to become the new Federation, replacing one form of control with another. Instead, we chose a harder path, showing that true strength comes from lifting others up, not holding them down. In the audience, High Observer Ixel, now simply Citizen Ixel, sat among his former subjects. His mandibles no longer twitched with anxiety, but moved in what humans had learned was a gesture of contentment. The humans taught us something profound. He addressed the assembly when it was his turn to speak. We thought guidance meant control. They showed us it means teaching others to find their own path. Maya's quantum networks, once tools of infiltration and deception, had evolved into the backbone of a new galactic society. Information flowed freely between worlds. Innovation was shared, not hoarded. Problems were solved through collaboration, not competition. We're detecting unusual readings from the galactic core, Thomas reported during a routine monitoring shift. In the old Federation, such discoveries would have been kept secret by the ruling powers. Now, the data was instantly shared across all worlds. Unknown technology, Maya confirmed, studying the readings, possibly from a civilization even older than the Federation. She smiled. Time to organize another joint expedition. The announcement of the discovery sparked immediate interest across known space. Ships and scientists from dozens of worlds volunteered to join the exploration team. The Federation would have sent a military force to secure any potential advantages. The Galactic Assembly sent seekers of knowledge. Admiral Chen watched the expedition preparations from her office in Luna Command. Remember when we were hiding our quantum cores and playing primitive? She asked Maya's hologram. Now we're teaching our technology to anyone who wants to learn, and learning just as much in return, Maya added. The Arcturians' crystal computing matrices, combined with our quantum systems, we'd never have imagined those advances a year ago. The changes weren't just technological. Cultural exchange had exploded across known space. Human music played in Retaliation colonies. Federation art found new appreciation when freely shared rather than imposed. Earth's universities filled with students from 100 worlds, while human scholars spread across the galaxy. There have been challenges, Martins admitted to the assembly. Change never comes easily. But look at what we've achieved together. The holographic displays showed worlds once devastated by Federation control, now flourishing under cooperative restoration projects. In the Mars Quantum Labs, Maya worked with a team of scientists from across known space, including several former Federation researchers. They were developing a new form of faster-than-light travel, combining innovations from multiple civilizations. The old Federation would have suppressed this technology. A Centaurian scientist noted. They would have feared losing control. That was their greatest mistake, Maya replied. They thought control meant strength. They forgot that diversity, freedom, and cooperation are the real drivers of progress. A year after humanity had revealed its true nature to the galaxy, their greatest achievement wasn't technological superiority or military power. It was showing that there was another way. That civilization could advance through cooperation rather than control, through lifting others up rather than holding them down. In orbit above Earth, ships from across the galaxy gathered for the anniversary celebrations. Their designs were as varied as their crews, a testament to the diversity that had replaced Federation uniformity. Yet they moved in perfect harmony, guided by shared protocols and mutual respect. Ready for another year of change? Thomas asked Maya as they watched the ships dance through space. She smiled, thinking of the expedition preparing to explore the galactic core, of the new technologies being developed, of the countless possibilities that opened up when civilizations worked together instead of against each other. The galaxy's a big place, she replied. And for the first time, we're all truly exploring it together. The quantum networks hummed with activity, not orders from above, but the free exchange of ideas, culture, and discovery. The Federation's dream of guided development had been replaced by something far more powerful: shared growth, mutual respect, and the understanding that true civilization meant helping others reach their full potential. Humanity had changed the galaxy not by conquering it, but by showing it a better way to grow. And this was just the beginning.